Hello and welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. So I'm going to be continuing the quest for Yelan, and it requires me to talk to somebody named Bolai right over here, which we've met in the past.
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life.
The trader who is negotiating with Bolai leaves. Okay.
Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
I've got more than enough of them in my bag.
Actually, we wanted to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family.
Oh, wow.
He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for Wanyo Boutique.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
I don't think Yelan's satisfied just yet.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... that's Juri right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
What a coincidence.
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Yelan. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I'll just go and fetch
Okay.
an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I just hope that they aren't going to force me to do the
I
sneaking thing.
understand. Let's walk and talk.
Oh boy. They are.
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Uh-huh.
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Okay. To be honest, it's kind of hard to focus on what they're saying when I'm trying to sneak
Thank
around.
you very much, Miss Yelan.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Okay. What happened? The game just froze. Oh. Was that all we needed to hear? Or did he spot me? Usually the game gives you...
Juri seems to get along really well with everyone.
I was going to say, usually the game gives you enough time when you're doing one of those things where you're not supposed to get spotted to still hide, so...
Are you satisfied now, Yelan?
Well, he still doesn't know we're here, so we could listen in a little longer.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be Tianchi yourself, are you?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
Paimon. Oh my goodness.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Soon? I would have guessed sun, but okay. He's right over here.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
We're here to ask you about someone.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too!
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Huh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Where to next? Somewhere in this area? Yeah. So maybe I should talk to Uncle Gao, or however you say his name?
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
That sounds like a ripoff.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow! She switched identity again!
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Juri who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him. That's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Yep.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay, let's keep going.
And now we need to talk to somebody over here. So maybe the kid? I think that was a kid that I just saw.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you.
Dugu Shuo. I don't remember if I met him during a commission or something else.
What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
But it seems to have made his day.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Juri. For example, I can't remember.
I've been there.
Probably 'cause it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jur-E?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago.
Huh.
Before that, people always used to talk about Juri in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Juri stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Bye, kid.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Yes, I heard it. I'm completely lost right now. I'll say yes, I heard it.
Strange? What was strange about it? Juri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gas spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me.
I agree.
Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jur-E was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign.
Someone's helping him.
Right. And that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu Xixing.
Yep.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we asked Jiri about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First,
Fair
we need
point.
to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Jir-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Jir-E's manifesto on who we're dealing with. Come on,
Okay.
let's get back to Yenshang Tea House. Jir-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together.
Okay.
Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Jir-E, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Yep. I wonder if the game is going to make me look through it all very carefully, though. Yeah, it is. Probably.
Made any discoveries?
Not so far, but we're still looking.
Okay. So...
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Read Chapter C. Due to a variety of factors, sea storms have become stronger in recent years. I suggest we set up a special patrol unit to deal with sea monsters. The fleet should consist of the following. Covers various issues related to coastal defense. Read Chapter Rock. Much of Liyue's folklore suggests that Rex Lapis left a great deal of wealth in the mountains of Liyue. However, due to obstacles hindering excavation operation at the chasm, many projects have been called off. The workers of the Black Cliff Forge have been idle near the Golden House for a long time now. They should be given first refusal if any suitable projects arise. Covers mining, tunnel construction, and ruin exploration. Read Chapter Roads. The treacherous terrain around Huaguang Stone Forest and Qingyan Peak means the area has weak transport links. The sheer mountain peaks are connected only by rope bridges. They are dangerous to walk on and wholly unsuited to the transportation of goods. These areas are rich in medicinal herbs and ore deposits. Building a road network around the mountains would be beneficial to everyone. Covers plans to build roads and bridges. Let's stop reading.
Oh, this reading is giving Paimon a headache. Let's take a break.
Okay. Only one name stood out amongst all that stuff.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
That sounds good.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, he did come off as being a little bit of a jerk before.
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Qianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all.
That's weird.
Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets.
Huh.
It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead...
Because he enjoys it?
To validate his theories.
Or that?
No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one step ahead of the competition. Well, when you're the competition, at least.
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbois.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbois at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today. According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Yeah, I agree, Paimon.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that. Paimon's starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now.
Okay, see you guys.
So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
Yep.
Still have a bit left.
You finished reading the manifesto with Yelan.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Cheungshu Pool redevelopment plan.
What's that?
Cheungshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Cheungshu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation there.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions. Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure?
Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto?
Yeah, the Black Cliff Forge. That's actually the name that stuck out to me from those papers.
Oh yeah! Juri said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Juri wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qiunshu Pool.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Juri's secret supporter?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at present. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead. We may well find something new.
Okay.
Shenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
I think that's what we're trying to prove, Paimon, but I'll do that in the next video. Instead, I'm going to start on this now, on the stage, behind the stage. Talk to Liu Su. Something seems to be troubling Team Master Liu Su of Heiyu Tea House. How close is that? It's a little ways away, isn't it? Ah, just my luck. I'm not going to tell any more stories today. Not today, I swear it. What's going on? This tiny little stage is really annoying me. It's been poorly maintained for decades. It squeaks at the lightest touch. I've long told our boss, Fan Ergi, that it needed to be replaced, but he would always brush me off, saying that he couldn't find a good carpenter to do the job. Today, when I was telling the story of the Wrath of Haishan, it would make that infernal squeak with every pose I would strike. Nothing could have killed the mood more effectively. Everyone present burst out laughing, and some even made fun of me for it. I'm fed up with it. I must bring a good carpenter to see Fan Ergi. Then we'll see what other excuses he can come up with this time. You're from the Adventurers Guild, right? Can I just directly ask you to find a carpenter for me? Who should I look for? Oh, my bad. You don't look like you're from around here. How can I expect you to know where to find good carpenters? Well then, how about you go to Qingsha Village and look for Master Lu at Fanmu Carpenters. He's known for good skills. Please ask him if he's willing to help me. I believe that's the guy that sells blueprints for the teapot. He can send an apprentice if he's not available. Any carpenter from Fanmu Carpenters can manage the job, and if they build it right, that means we can finally have a befitting stage for Miss Yun. I'm such a genius. With this reasoning that I just came up with, I don't see how Uri could say no again this time. Just rest assured, as long as you bring the carpenter here, you'll be paid in full. Got it. Then I'll be counting on you. I'm at the tea house every day. Come to me when you've found Art Carpenter. Sure thing. What's the hurry, young man? Would you like to sit down and have a cup of tea? Master Lu, there's something... He explained Liu Su's request to Master Lu. Oh, it's not difficult to build a new stage, but I'm afraid I can't help. Liyue Harbor is too far away. No one will be taking care of Fanmu Carpenters if I go. What's more, I'm too old to travel this far. It would take a toll on my fragile bones. Then we won't bother Fanmu Carpenters. Hang on a second. Since you traveled all the way here, why don't I recommend someone capable to you? Although he's not yet my apprentice, I've been considering the possibility of accepting him. Master Lu, I'm almost done with the 4 chair set the village had wanted, but I ran out of wood for the last chair. Dayu, thank you for helping out in the village. Speak of the devil. I was about to say that Dayu can handle your request as well. Do you have a job for me? I'm not yet Master Lu's apprentice, so I can't represent Fanmu Carpenters. Calm down there. They came from Liyue Harbor and want us to build a new stage for Heiyu Tea House. Oh, so you want us to build a stage? Us means me and Master Lu. Did you hear that, Granny Ryojin? Or how I say her name? I forgot already. Yes, I did. Hehe, Master Liu, Daiyu really wants to be your apprentice. He only follows you around at Fanmu Carpenter's when there's so many other choices. He's a diligent and kind boy. It's time you gave the nod. Got it. I've already asked him to take jobs on my behalf. I think I've made myself quite clear. Thank you, Master. Daiyu, the first job I'm going to officially send you on is to build a stage for Heiyu Tea House. Do your best and make me proud. Piece of cake. I've worked for the carpenter who built the stage for the Jade Chamber. Don't be so proud yet. The stage of Heiyu Tea House has lasted for decades. You gotta build a sturdy one for them too. Oh, so this is all for Uri's tea house. How has he managed to never replace his tiny stage for so long? I'll take the job. Let me finish the last chair in the set, and I'll come with you. I'm sorry that you'll have to wait a bit. I need 3 pieces of pine wood for the last chair. I'm going to collect them. We can wait. Oh, wait, no. We'll have to wait a bit? Well, if you don't want to wait, then you'll have to magically produce 3 pieces of pine wood right here, right now. Got it. So, you really can do that. Then, could I trouble you to bring me 1 red dye? Now, wait a minute. Haha, don't get so worked up. A great person like you must have a greater heart. I forget, how do I get red dye? I may have to actually go get that manually. Thank you for your help. Have you found 3 plus? Okay, let me see. Yeah, I do have them. Okay, here we go. Here they are. Daiyu busies himself making the chair. The last chair is finished. Here you are, Granny Ryojin. Now, time to head to the tea house. Take care, Master. I'll be back in a few days. Alright, be safe. Well then, if I leave now, I'll reach Liyue Harbor by tomorrow evening. See you at Heiyu Tea House then. So, do I have to wait a day now? Yeah, I do. What do you mean? Don't tell me that you're still arguing amongst yourselves. Oh, I get it. Mr. Liu Su wants to build a new stage, but he doesn't get to make the call here. Van Uri, who is actually in charge, isn't keen on building something new. Fine. Just let me know when you two have things sorted out. I've just had a tiring trip, and would like to get some rest while waiting. This is just great. So, the trip was a waste in the end? Be patient. Let me try talking to him again. Uri, if you don't want to spend a small sum of money on the stage, you'll lose a big fortune in the future. Just think about it. Every time Miss Yun gives her marvelous spear flourish performance, the audience will hear the squeak of the stage before they even get to applaud. Isn't that simply embarrassing? The Enhan opera troupe isn't obliged to perform at our tea house. They could go somewhere else, and if they're displeased, that would be a huge loss on our side. Miss Yin is a dear friend. She would never do that to me. You're quite an optimist, aren't you? But I heard that many people have chosen to go to 3rd round knockout instead of our tea house lately. Iron Tongue Tian or whatever, has gotten even more popular than me. Could you try to be a little more realistic? With all the money Miss Yun has earned for the tea house, don't tell me you can't even afford to build a new stage. Did someone just call my name? Oh, it's you, Mr. Liu Su. You look angry. What happened? It's nothing. I'm not angry, actually. Well, are you here to perform today? I'm just here to have some tea and pay you and Uri a visit. Ah, if it isn't Aether. Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. I'd say it's fate. I am not at all surprised. Haha, Miss Yin certainly knows knows the art of conversation. Come, friends, I have some newly made tea from Chaoyang Village. Let's brew a pot. When I was downstairs, I heard that you're going to rebuild the stage. So, this day has finally come. Ahem. This will need a bit more consideration. Oh? A bit more consideration. Speaking of which, do you know who I visited in Qingsha Village today? You can just directly tell me that you went to see Rojin again, or however you say that name. Good guess. Granny was asking about Hay Tea House, and I told her that everything was the same as when she was young. Then she said... what did she say? Oops, I forgot what she said. You seem to have a good memory, but why does it have to fail on this particular day with something so important? Forget it. She'll be happy with things remaining as they were. Young people are always after new things and have little respect for the past. All you know is forcing me to rebuild the stage. The more I explain, the more you'll find me annoying. Humph. Please don't get mad, Uri. Let's have tea, and I shall brew some. Aether and Mr. Liusu, could I trouble you to bring me some tea? Okay, sure thing. Miss Yin, I was wondering why Uri refused to build a new stage despite all its benefits. Now I see why, thanks to your clever choice of topic. I understand his nostalgia. Yes, I really do. But I didn't expect him to have held on to that for decades. Now we know the reason behind it. I don't get it. This is an old story, but since you're involved, I guess it won't hurt to tell you. Fennery used to be an opera singer when he was young, and he often performed together with Granny. They would usually play a couple. Perhaps Uri wanted it to be real. But she had feelings for someone else. Later, she grew tired of stage performance and then decided to go to Qingsha Village with the one she loved. But that person didn't make it to Qingsha Village with her, leaving her to live alone in the village ever since. Knowing that I often visit her, Uri would ask me about her from time to time. I can tell that he still cares for her. He sees the stage as a symbol of their past and thus doesn't want to tear it down. Since the stage means so much to him, he's not going to let us build a new one. Guess all our efforts are wasted. That's not necessarily the case. I have a way to change his mind. Give me some time, Mr. Liusu. Really? As long as the stage gets repaired, I'll be in your debt, Miss Yen. I won't ask for too much. Please tell Ring of Raining Blades to its very end. Aether, you can join me if you want. Somehow Yunjin feels very different than usual. Our tea house has collaborated with Yunhan Opera Troupe for decades. Miss Yen would naturally feel more approachable around us. No problem. I'll make some time and tell the story just for you. Alright, now that we've finished the tea, it's time to talk to Uri. Uri, when we were drinking tea, I suddenly remembered what Granny told me. What did she say? She said, Uri always loves to make things difficult for himself. I feel sad about it. She truly understands me. But it seems that she doesn't miss the old stage. I'm the only person who can't let go. What a fool I was to be so obsessed with the stage. Alright, you can rebuild it as you want. It's a touching thing to have kept that stage for so many years. I don't find it foolish at all. Please don't think of it that way. The stage must be rebuilt, but we mustn't damage what Uri wants to preserve in memory. So, you finally made your decision. Great. I'll start working right away. Here, take a look at my blueprint. The grand stage on the Jade Chamber was built based on it. According to this design, we need to tear down the walls on two sides and... let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think we need to repair the stage instead of building something entirely new. Since the problem is caused by the squeaky floor, Why don't we repair the floor first? As for the rest, we can talk about later. What do you think, Mr. Liusu? So long as the stage won't affect performance, I have no objection to Miss Yen and Uri's arrangements. Huh. Is that all you want? So you don't need me to build a new stage? I agree. Miss Yen's idea is a good one. As it happens, we don't need to buy the planks. We can find some at the docks. May I trouble you to bring me the planks, Aether? I'll pay for everything in full later. That works for me. Alright then, leave everything to me. Okay. Go to the warehouse at the docks and obtain the wooden planks. Here are some. Pick up planks. Give the planks to Dayu. Is that really all I needed to do? Good grief. These planks would do. I'll start right away. And so, what's gonna happen? Nice, the stage has been repaired and it doesn't look any different. Nothing seems to have changed at all. Young man, since you traveled all the way from Qingsha village to here, how much should I pay you? I thought it'd be a big job, yet I only had to repair a few planks. That wasn't much trouble. I'm new in this line of jobs, so I won't ask for much. 2 meals worth of mora would do. That makes 8,000 in total. That's a fair price. Good, but I can only offer 2,000. What? Why don't you just ask me to do it for free? This is Uri for you. He has a 50-50 principle, you know? Well, it means 50% off first, and then 50% off again, making it 75% off in total. It's rather, economical. Oh my, your boss really is stingy. You only repaired a few planks. I'll only offer 2,000, not a single mora more. Yeah, I guess I'll have to take it since this is my first commission. Remember to put in a good word for Banmu carpenters with your audience. You can count on me. And my young friend here, thanks to you too. You'll be handsomely paid. How about this blueprint? Look at all the details. It must be worth a fortune. You're stingy indeed. Ha ha ha, to run a tea house I have to pinch pennies here and there. And Miss Yin, you solved the problem for me on your visit. How should I thank you? That won't be necessary. I'm glad I was able to help. I had wanted to invite Xingyan to go to the rock and roll performance. Oh, you need Oh, you need me to do some explaining for you while you go to the show, right? Hehe. Don't say that. I just haven't seen my friend Xingyan for some time and miss her very much, that's all. If the people from Yunhan Opera Troupe ask about my whereabouts, please. Got it. I have the answer ready. Oh, you're asking about Miss Yun? She came to visit Xingyan and they did embroidery together. That's what I'm gonna tell them. Do you like this one? Yes, I do. Then it's decided. Okay, that quest is finally done with. They had to do a lot of back and forward on that one. So, thank you very much for watching. The next time I play, I'm going to be continuing the quest, for Yelan. I'll probably be finishing that in the next video as well. And if I finish it fast enough, then I'll probably be doing either treasure hunting, or if they add a new timed event by then, I'll be, doing the timed event. So, anyways, thanks again, see you next time, and bye-bye.